Yes, love
Speak on it.
yourself, love people, respect something you're not sure about. Make sure if you see something you're not sure, you don't understand, let it be. It's not your problem. If it doesn't affect you, it doesn't pay your bills, let it be.
Yeah.
Make sure, again, like I said, respect. Teach your children to respect, as this post I put recently, tell your kids, hey, if you see a kid by themselves, looks lonely, talk to them.
Yeah.
And it's the same as dancing. If you see someone sitting in the corner, say hi. Like, you don't know what kind of day they had. You don't know how hard it is to be a newbie in a new city, to be a new kid at a new school. Learn to appreciate that someone is nice to you. So be nice. Play it forward. Play it forward.
Yeah.
Love, respect. And remember, we only have one world, and we need to keep track of this one because pretty soon, who knows, might be gone.
So, no.
Mama za kungi betengo we kumoyi ngumada takana okyo sokinu kibanga se Manuele ngando mushisamye Manuele
You ready, man?
All right.
Let's get it, bro. Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of 2 3 Podcast. I'm your host Terrence Greer. I have the wonderful and incredible Mr. Orlando Machuca Jr.
Oh, yes. What's going on?
AKA landodolce.
Landodolce. That's right.
So if I'm not mistaken, man, you were born and raised in Arlington, Virginia, correct?
Correct. Arlington, VA.
And you are a salsa, bachata, pretty much a Latin dancer, instructor.
Correct.
As well as MC.
That's right. I've gotten into MC recently,
Uh-huh.
but I'm good on the mic.
Okay.
Like talking.
Who
Who doesn't?
I'm curious, but I guess I want to start this out, man. I'm very curious to hear about your childhood growing up in Arlington, man. What was that like?
Arlington was different. I was very shy, actually, as a kid, which would be a surprise to many people. I was very quiet. I had my older sister. She was really the dominant one in the family. My dad has 24 kids, so therefore we're the last two from the same parents, but he has a lot of older kids, so we were kind of like the only ones that got to spend our time with our dad because, he was always traveling. But being the baby makes it like a little harder, and then you meet all these kids who look older than you and are more confident, and they kind of bullied you around, and it kind of got to you. But here I am now, top of the world.
I gotta ask you, man. 24 kids, so you all grew up in one house or what?
No.
Oh, okay.
They were all different moms.
Okay.
Moms.
Your dad was a player then.
He only married my mom, so
Right.
not a player, just smart.
I'm very curious. I guess what did your parents do then? Can I ask?
What?
What did your parents do, and where are they from?
They're from El Salvador.
Okay.
They're born in El Salvador. They actually were, they met there, and then they lost touch, and somehow they ended up in New York and met again.
Okay.
And then it was like, they stayed together, and they had my sister in New York, and then they had me in Arlington.
Okay. I'm curious, man. Have you been back to El Salvador?
Yeah. I used to go every single year as a kid. I would say until I turned 16.
Oh.
Then once it was like my responsibility to take myself, I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
All right, man. So I gotta ask, man. I've never been to El Salvador, man. What is it like there?
It's beautiful. I mean, any country you go to is different. Obviously, you're not
Right.
used to the culture. But, you get there, you have family, they kind of show you around. They show you what it's like to live there. And, luckily we have a lot of family there. So it's very easy to, kind of just, and again, as a kid, it's easy to just go with the flow. You're not like, oh, I got to worry about so many things.
Right. Okay, I understand that, man.
So I'll go back soon. It'll be like to go to like a beach resort, a private resort, because, I'm trying to just be on the beach.
I understand, man.
Drinking.
I'm very curious, man. I guess, what was it like growing up in that household then, with parents from El Salvador?
Yeah, I mean, they raised me, so it was not like I didn't think it was going to be different, or they raised me that way. They made sure to speak to me in Spanish. That way they didn't mess up my English. That way I didn't have an accent. They were really, 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 really like particular about not trying to speak to us in English, so we wouldn't pick up their bad habits or their bad accents. So I learned English in school. So no one can guess because I don't have an accent.
Right, exactly.
And right around middle school, my dad used to make me do all my homework that I already had to do in Spanish. So that's kind of how I kept my Spanish with me. He made me like write a lot. So I had to write all the numbers and lines and lines. Kind of like when you get in trouble at school and they make you write on the chalkboard. But this was more for penmanship. So I have nice handwriting. You know, I love cursive, things like that that you really don't see kids do. I was really into like, okay, let me practice my signature. Let me practice my name. And it's good. It works now because, you know, now you get bilingual pay at work, you know. More money is always good.
Exactly. I'm very curious to hear, man, you know, I guess, how important was music growing up in your household?
Not at all,
Really?
actually. Like, for me, I would say my mom used to love to go out and dance. I remember she used to take me out when I was like 12, 13. Like, she would fight the bouncers to be like, that's my son, let him in.
Okay.
This
is in Arlington? Or?
This was in Arlington, in the
Okay.
Arlington area, D.C. It was very funny. Like, I didn't mind the music, but it wasn't until high school that I started going to like Sweet 16s and Sweet 15s, and my friends were having these events, and I was in them and then eventually we started like a little team in high school where it was like a little Latin dance. We had a little after-school program. I was the youngest. I was the only freshman. Everybody else was like senior, junior.
Okay.
But my sister was in there. So they were like, oh, that's, you know, my brother has to stay after school with me anyway, so
Might as well.
let's go ahead and... It was just like merengue, super simple. We used to perform at all the auditorium events. And it was fun. And that's how we met this counselor who taught at the high school, Mr. Bravo. And after I graduated high school, he was like, hey, I'm doing a volunteer camp. You know, I'd love to have you with some kids. I was like, sure, let's do it. Which is how I got into dancing, because I started with the kids and we did different things every day. And then we had Eileen Torres, which is one of the big promoters and music influencers in the DMV area. She came in and taught salsa one day. And after that day, the kids loved it. I loved it. We would rehearse every day. We would play with the music, and we ended up performing like at Latin dance festivals, street festivals. Eventually, Eileen asked us to perform at Zanzibar, which is one of the biggest clubs in the area back then. We performed, and that's where I got picked up by Shaka Brown and back then D, which is Scion now. They were like, hey, we're doing a collaboration. Let's do, you know, come over, let's practice. And it was kind of like just a one-time thing. And then that was around 03. It was like March of 03. And then they were like, hey, we're going to Puerto Rico in August. You want to go? I was like, let's go. Let's go. They had a fundraiser because I was the youngest and cutest. I ended up getting all my things paid with the fundraisers. I sold so many tickets. So it was my first Congress in Puerto Rico, 2003. 10-day Congress. It was a 10 days, the longest Congress that they had.
That's long,
I'm pretty sure they still do it. It's literally like a week and a half.
That is.
Yep, it was so much
straight
fun.
Classes, socials?
Straight classes, socials, parties, performances, daytime, nighttime. You know, it's the largest Congress in the world. It's so amazing.
What's the name of that?
The Puerto Rico Salsa Congress.
Okay,
Check it out. I'm sure it's not that long anymore. It might still be. I know they start early. But it's super fun. It was a great time. I danced on stage. That's where I didn't really know how to social dance, but I was like on stage already. So that's kind of how I got into it, and I would watch people. And then here I am, years later, able to teach and able to have fun and enjoy it and meet new people.
So, I mean, you said you kind of started in high school, so you did not grow up dancing at all, or what?
I didn't even listen to Latin music till I graduated. I did the performances for the shows, but I never was like, oh, let me play some salsa, let me play some bachata. No, I was like, I was a 90s kid. I like the R&B, all the R&B, SWV, Silk, all that good stuff. That was what I used to listen to. I used to sing Paula Abdul, Rush when I was a kid. People made fun of me. I'm like, but they mad. I was like, don't be mad.
And so I'm curious, what about when you went back to El Salvador? You know, I guess were you in the dance scene then?
No, I was still a kid. I was under 16, so it was more like family. All the aunts, you know, wanted to see me. The grandparents. There was never like, I was not old enough to be like, oh, let's go to the bar. Club. They probably, I mean, I could drink at that age, but they were never like, oh, let's go to the bar.
And so, I guess more specifically, dancing with family though, or like did
you? No, my family, you know, El Salvador, they don't really dance salsa. That's more of a cumbia. They do a lot of folkloric dances, and it was never like, oh, let's practice folkloric dancing or cumbia. No, not at all. Never.
I understand that, man. I understand that. So you told me this. You graduate high school, and you get kind of involved in the scene, man. I guess let me ask you this: what made you fall in love with it so much? Like, what made you connect with it?
I would say the music. Being able to. It actually got me out of my shell. Senior year was my first year that I actually got out of my shell, and I was, trying to be me. I wasn't sure about me. As a kid, you don't really know. You're like, you kind of know, you don't know. And then you're scared to what people think about you, whatever which way your life may go. And you're like, and eventually one day you just gotta be like, fuck it. This is me, you're gonna take it or not. And how you respond to negativity is how your life is gonna be the rest of your life. If you respond to it sad or mad, you're gonna be mad. If you respond to it with no cares, nobody messes up my day. I don't care what's going on. I could be sad for a minute, but there's plenty of time in the day just to be like, you know what, I'll live.
Yeah. That's a
in
great
any
mindset.
situation, even in dancing, be like, oh, I messed up. It's okay, I'll be fine.
That's a great mindset, man. That's an awesome mindset.
I try.
Hey, shout out, man. So, I guess I'm very curious to hear, man. When did you, or how did you get involved with teaching? Like, how far along the line was that?
So I want to say from '03 that I started performing. We literally did like Puerto Rico Congress, New York Congress. We did Canada Congress, all in '03. So by '04, then we did LA Congress, Philly Congress, Miami Congress. We literally traveled all over the place with Clavakazi, with Shaka Irene.
So you were a performer first then?
I was a performer. I was great at choreography, picking up choreography before I was a social dancer.
Hey.
With time, I would go to New York, to Jimmy Anton socials. They still have them every other Sunday in New York. I would go up there with my team, and I was older, and I was becoming, a little more comfortable. My ladies, Monica, Irene, they would, dance with me. But eventually, they were like, nope, we're not dancing with you. Go dance with strangers. Go dance with people. Go dance. Get me out of my comfort zone. I used to be such a, okay, crossbody lead, shines. Let go, shines. And then crossbody lead, shines. And eventually, with time, I never really took lessons, but I would go to, nightclubs and watch. This is where the idea came across. I would watch instructors not really connect with their students. I would watch and they're like, oh, we're doing this. And I'm like, but they're not helping understand why we're doing this or how we're doing this. They're just kind of saying, do this. So I kind of made it like a promise to myself. I said, if I ever am able, I'm going to try to help people be better, learn better, explain why, how come, which is how my technique comes in a little different from a lot of people that teach very with numbers. Some people like that. But in my sense, I like to use words, like follow when you're done, try something. I don't like to use numbers too much because numbers go so many places that you can't really recall to what this number is for this and what this number is for that. But when you use a phrase like follow, try, you know exactly when you have to try something. And it makes people comfortable. I like to throw in jokes. I like to make it fun. I've been teaching I want to say like in 05, 06, people started requesting me to teach. And I was like, no. And then I would do privates here and there. And I want to say about 05, probably the end of 05, I started teaching at a Cafe Citron because I was subbing. I was subbing a class because somebody was away for like 3 months and their cover was not making it. So they were like, hey, can you cover a class? And I came and I covered it. And they were like, hey, we really like you. Do you mind coming back? I'm like, sure. So it'll actually be my 15-year anniversary at Cafe Citron in May, the end of May. So I've been there. And then we had Salsa Room, which will be it'll be 13 years in November. And with that, it was the same kind of thing. Back then, salsa was not really doing well. They wanted to do a gay night.
In the Virginia area? Arlington, DC,
yeah. They wanted to do a gay night. They were like, hey, Thursday's not working for salsa. We want to do a gay night. They were like, can we get you on board? I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So I ended up teaching the class from November to January while, we were going to wait for the holidays to be over. And people started coming. People started staying. And they were like, you're the new guy. You're the new guy. You're going to be the salsa guy on Thursdays. And people were coming.
That's awesome, man.
And then it turned into a Friday gig as well. They were like, Friday is casino. I love casino and Reda, but it's very hard to do that in a setting where you get new people every week.
It is. That's something
you mess up. You can't
especially
learn.
In the weather. That's
Eh,
a rotation.
it's very hard to just be comfortable because you're learning, and if you mess up, everybody knows you messed up because the whole circle.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, can we try you on Fridays? And I'm like, sure. Same thing. Fridays picked up. And now Salsa Room's like banging. Salsa Room is like on point. They do a lot of bachata now. Change the name, but they need more salsa. You know me, I'm biased.
Are you,
I
are
love
you a
bachata.
salsero or what?
I'm a salsero
Okay.
at heart.
Okay.
I can play though. I can play all. You know, I can do bachata. I'm learning my little body rolls and sensual. I love following, so any following is nice for me because I like to feel.
You actually enjoy following?
I love following.
And,
Psst, hey kid, come here. Hey, if you could like and subscribe for the channel, that'd be amazing. Let's get back to the show.
I think that's probably what makes you a wonderful dancer, though, man. Because you know both aspects, leading and following.
I love it.
Yes.
You know, as much as I don't really do sensual as a leader, I don't mind letting myself kind of go to feel it, because this is how you learn. You know, I like learning anything as a follow because I kind of feel what they're doing to me, and that way it makes me understand what to be as a leader.
Exactly. You know, a good lead from a bad lead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, it helps. It helps. I like being submissive sometimes because in a world where I'm always being really dominant, it takes a lot to make me submissive. So good luck.
Hey, I wanna go back to what you kind of said a while ago, man. You know, you said you were a performer at first, man, and I think that kind of highlights how being a performance dancer and a social dancer are kind of two different skills.
Very different skills.
So I want to ask you this though, man. You know, for people out there who are, you know, aspiring performance dancers, you know, they want to improve their performance skills. Do you have any words of wisdom or advice maybe to give them to help with their performances?
I would say learn your foundation. Learn your foundation, learn your role, learn your basics. I was kind of thrown into it as in I loved choreography. So I was just a dancer who could pick up choreography, and it was fun. And then I fell in love with the dance. So it was not like, oh my God, I love salsa, let me get on a performance team. No, it didn't happen. I was just like, all right, can you pick up this choreo? Oh yeah, I can pick it up. And then I was like, let's perform. And then I would be at these congresses, which I've never seen. And you know, you don't really experience that as a beginner because you're like, no. But as someone who was kind of thrown into it, I was like, wow, this is really cool. This is really nice.
Yeah.
So now it's where I get to learn my foundation, my rules. I learned how to lead. I learned how to follow. I learned how to mess up. I learned my frame because it really translates into your performing.
Yeah, of course.
When you go into performing and you're not sure about connection and frame and timing, it makes it really hard, and then you get really frustrated.
Yeah.
And a lot of people nowadays are getting on teams just because they just want to be on a team. They want to be part of a clique. And it's terrible because it's taken away from the love of the dance. Like, I love choreography. I love the music. I love dancing. But a lot of people are just trying to be in a crowd, in an in crowd. And I'm like, hey guys, just, you know, go out, meet people. And this is, you know, I always try to be focused in lessons, in my classes. I'm like, hey, meet people, meet new people, say hi to strangers. And
That's the part
just
of social, right?
Social. Because when I was younger, I used to go to everybody's social. I used to be at everybody's party, and everyone's like, Orlando's always everywhere. He's not cliquish. He's not with the on-oneers. He's not with the on-tours. He's just everywhere. He's at the bar. I'm with the bar. I'm the bar guy. I like to drink.
I wish I could see this assortment right here, man.
The what?
Yeah, this assortment you have.
I'm always ready. You know me. Yeah, you know, you got to drink. You got to drink. You know, you got to make it fun. You got to learn how to drink. You know, support the bar. If you,
True. That's a big thing, man.
That's a big thing. A lot of clubs close because you don't support the bar.
Come on, man.
I mean, if you don't like to drink, buy me a drink.
All right, yeah.
Buy me a couple drinks. But you know, it's just common courtesy. You know, we expect so much from them, yet we want to have a free party. We want to have free this. We want to have free water. Like, I mean, it's a business, and eventually, you know, unless somebody can handle their business without your support, they don't need you. But you know, they want you to come in, and if they let you come in, well, you know, you need to support them as much as we can. Even if you can't afford a drink, you know, invite somebody. Invite your alcoholic friend that doesn't know how to dance. Yeah. You know, that's the key. You know, hey, like, I don't know how to dance. Well, just come, have some drinks. You'll be fine.
Enjoy the show, really, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Enjoy the view. People love to watch dancing.
Yes.
It's voyeurs for dancing.
I want you to speak on, you know, I guess leading and following, man, and I guess more so specifically, I guess why why does one help the other? Can you explain on that?
When you learn about your other role, it actually helps you be a better whatever it is you do.
Okay.
Like as a leader, me following helped me understand how much to give.
Okay.
Like not to be too rough for her, not to be too aggressive, not to be too, not to have too many expectations. Because a lot of leaders are like, oh, you messed up. Why? I messed up. Because if I wasn't able to lead you in through that, that means me as a leader wasn't able to help you understand exactly what I want.
It's always the lead's fault, right? Or what?
I mean, I would say 97% of the time it's the lead's fault.
Right.
The follower sometimes, it's not that it's her fault, but maybe lack of frame, lack of understanding something that nobody ever taught them. So we can't really blame the followers because they're like, hey, I've never done this at all. So maybe they're loose arms or something. It's not their fault. They don't know.
Right.
But again, it's everybody's responsibility on themselves to learn how things work if you want to be thrown into a situation where you can hang.
Right.
Because if you can't hang, I mean, I want to say 2004, second time I went to Canada, the parties were till like 5 a.m.
Okay. That's a long
And
time.
by 3 o'clock,
You gotta be tired, right?
all leaders, all men, all guys,
Follows left.
all the girls were gone. So that's kind of the first time I was kind of thrown into a situation because, I was so young back then. I was like 21, 22. So, guys, they're so dominant and they see you as that, young, fragile. Okay, let me dance with this one. They're not going to pick the tallest, most scruffiest man to dance with because, guys are programmed that way. They're like, all right, well, if I can't get a girl, what's the closest thing I can get to one?
Yeah.
The youngest, the most quietest, the one that nobody knows.
Okay.
So they started picking me up and they were like, all right, you're going to follow. And I'm like, oh, great. So again, I'm just a choreography guy. I just know how to pick up choreography.
Real quick, now I hate to interrupt you, but I gotta
No
hear
worries.
this, man. Tell me about your beginner stage in both leading and following. What was that like?
Well, this is the following one for sure. I literally, guys were like picking me up and they were like, all right, let's go. And I'm like, here I am thinking, oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm a leader. I know what I'm doing. And it helps because they were like, nope, relax. That's not what I wanted. Nope, relax. That's what I want. And I'm like, how come I keep messing up? Because I see what they want, but I'm wrong. So it's like very important for followers, stop anticipating. As much as we think we know what's going to come, don't do it. I used to dance with like Juan Calderon. He used to pick me up a lot, and he gave me a lot of information on being a better follower. Also, one of my best mentors when I was following, I would say, would be Milton Coble. He's actually, I think, North Carolina now. He was like, hey, get out of your head. Get out of your head. And
tough,
he was
easier
like,
said than done.
easier said than done. He was like, learn to let someone lead you. They were like, be in control, but be in control of letting someone control you at the moment. Relax, keep your frame. And Mario B from Jersey, one of my favorite leads, he would be like, relax, open up that frame, just let it go. And once I started getting into the habit, like following became such a breeze and so easy. I'm like,
That's awesome.
And then guy on guy has been going on for years. Now you see it, and you see a lot of these guys, trying all this lady styling and all this extra stuff, but they're not following. I'm like, calm down, guys. I need you guys to follow, control, breathe. It's not a show. Once you're comfortable at being a great follower, your styling will come. Which comes into another thing. Let's not call it lady styling. It's not lady styling. It's not men's styling. It's just styling. Learn how to incorporate your love of music with your body and celebrate your body. Celebrate your extensions. Celebrate this. It's not lady styling. It's not men's styling. It's styling.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
With leading, I would say...
Well, real quick, I want to get to that. Give me some tips for follows. How can follows improve their following?
Just that. Less show, less arms, learn your footwork, learn your extensions, learn your frame, your foundations. I like to tell my followers to kind of keep their distance. I kind of keep my arms always in front of my body because it's kind of safer, if something goes wrong, you have this much room to protect yourself before something goes wrong. Besides that, just breathe, control, let him lead you. Stop assuming, keep those elbows down, bend your knees, squeeze those thighs when you're spinning. If you can't spin, stop him. Never let a guy overspin you. If he's trying to give you 5 spins and you can only do 2, Bring that hand down,
Yeah,
ladies.
that's
Don't
a
let a
big
guy
thing.
dominate you. Only in bed. Just
I imagine following is also something that comes with time. Leading and following though comes
Oh,
with
yeah.
time, right? You're not gonna be an excellent dancer day one, right?
depends.
Okay, sure enough.
Depends. Some people are just
Gifted?
nature.
Okay.
It's just it comes with nature.
Okay.
They're like I've never done this before. Pick them up and they're like poop.
They can just follow. I've experienced that. Just great follows, man. I've definitely experienced that, so I understand that, man. Yeah.
For sure. And then some, you need a little work, but don't be frustrated. It's gonna be
Yeah.
okay.
So be kind to yourself, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
be hard on yourself.
Kind to yourself and others, because
Oh,
at some
big
point,
thing, man.
somebody's always learning, and someone's always going to be better, and someone's always going to be worse.
Come on, man.
So you got to help the community out, and not be impatient, and not be, oh, I don't want to dance with you. Oh, I don't want to. At some point, somebody don't want to dance with you either.
Hey,
but guess what?
come on.
Let's change that stigma. Dance with people who are learning. Help them if you can. If not, at least smile at them while you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You're still in a song. Calm down.
Tell me about your beginner stage in leading, man. What was that like?
Leading, oh, it's so rough. I want to
Okay.
say, because you're so used to like the choreography and the choreography and the choreography, and then you're like, well, how? But why? But how come? And in a sense, once you get comfortable with, all right, it's all in your head. Like it's all in your head.
What you mean? What's in your head? What you mean?
Leading is not so much, hands. It's what you're thinking about next.
Okay.
And timely matter. You have to think about it. Sometimes you don't have time to think about it. So there has to be a way that you execute without hurting or messing up connection.
Yeah.
So you have to relax. And at some point, once you stop thinking about, I want this move, I want that move, I want this move, which I really talk about too in classes, use your imagination. Like when I tell people, instead of trying to memorize 20 moves, I tell them, think about one rule. Follow when you're done, try something. If you use that try something and you actually try something, it can be creative, it could be basic, it could be intermediate, advanced, and it's stopping you from trying to memorize those 20 moves. Because
Okay.
that 20 moves, you're like, what's next? Nope, get out of that.
Yeah.
Go in, learn a couple moves, play with how things work, learn your frame, learn control, and think about the rule. Try something. And then you can just play. I mean, in my aspect, people who've taken classes, they're like, you make it seem so easy because you're just making me not think so much. One little thing makes it easy to just be able to play. And the better you get, the more you can play.
Okay.
Yep.
And so I guess the follow-up then. Any words of wisdom or advice for leads out there? How can they improve?
Be gentle, be controlled, frame. Like I like to, same thing for the late, open up, give them space, stop being that creep who's all up on your follower just because you're trying to be all up on your follower. No, give them space, learn. Closed position is, always the way to start. You never want to dance in open position too long. It makes it uncomfortable and it looks super basic. No one's going to dance with you. Closed position, feel each other out. Because as soon as you close position, okay, are they giving me resistance? Are they giving me tension? Start simple. Everything should always be with the music. The song starts slow, we start slow.
Exactly.
Basics. Stop with the 20 turns in the first 10 seconds. I tell people the first 30 to 50 seconds of the song are chill.
You kind of feeling your partner out, right?
Feel them out.
Yeah.
2 or 3 moves tops. Save all your moves for the climax of the music. Wait till the music gets popping.
Yeah.
Wait till it's crazy, and then start busting them out. But again, stop rushing women. Stop turning. They don't want to turn.
That's a workout, man.
They want to dance.
That's a workout.
Relax. Make sure you take care of them. Make sure you watch where you're throwing them. Make sure you don't run them into. It's our job to protect our follows. They have their toes out. We want to make sure they don't get stepped on, because if they get hurt,
Hey.
you end up dancing with me all night. Not a bad thing, but hey. I look so young. I look like 10 years younger than
I
everybody.
don't know what it is, man. What is it?
I don't know. Now, I still look younger, I think.
Okay.
But people, girls used to always, oh, you're like my little brother. Oh, you're just so nice. Oh, you're like my brother. And I'm like, So eventually I was like, whatever, over it. But I was never really sexual until my 20s.
Okay.
So it was not like, okay, I know I like men, but I didn't know. I was just not sexual. I looked super young that I was never in a place where I was like, let me wonder. But eventually, I got older, and I got attention from men, and I was like, I kind of like that. So I would start going by myself to bars, and here I am.
Yeah, I guess what I meant more specifically is I guess how was that for you in the social scene? I guess
I am very playful. I like to play with people I know, even with strangers.
Yeah.
I want to say I've earned my respect as a young dancer. Before I was even as comfortable with myself as I am now, I earned my respect in the dance scene.
Okay.
So a lot of people, very good question, because a lot of people see me as a character. They see me as a personality.
Okay.
So the problem is that, yes, I was back then being myself as much as I could. Obviously now I'm very out and I'm very extra, and a lot of these, a lot of these new little boys, are coming out of the closet, and they're loving themselves, and because our past people were here to help us be able to be out in public. Because back then, I couldn't dance with a guy
that's
sexual.
Changed, right?
Salsa, yes. If you know what you're doing, it's good. But I'm saying, like, I couldn't dance like a reggaeton because people would be like, oh, disgusted or da-da-da-da. Nowadays you can do whatever you like. But like I said, I earned my respect years ago as a dancer.
People know you.
But a lot of people think, oh, just because he's gay, he can do whatever he wants, and he thinks so. No, that's not how it works, guys. Be yourselves, love yourselves, but respect your surroundings. It's respect what you want people to think of you. You don't want people to think you're a diva. You don't want people to think you're trying to like do something. You just want people to love you and know how much you love yourself. Because once they notice how much you love yourself, like I've had many heterosexual guys that were homophobic when they first met me, and I respected them, and months, and they'd be like, you know what, man, because of you, like I'm not like that anymore. I'm super comfortable now. Like I grab guys whenever I have too many guys. I grab them and I do the class with them. And never have I had any guys and like, no, I want to dance with you. No, as a teacher, I'm grabbing you. I'm actually helping you learn how to do this. And they're like, oh my God, it feels so much better doing it with you, and they're so comfortable.
And I'll say this real quick, man. Taking salsa classes or really partner dance is really the first time I ever had to dance with another lead or another man. So I mean, it kind of like got me used to it, I guess.
Yeah, it's norm. It's a norm now.
It kind of is. If there's too many leads, then it's kind of inevitable.
Yeah. That's why you gotta learn how to follow.
Yeah, you showed up, man.
Or be a good enough lead that you can control, because men like to be powerhouses. They like to be in charge. I'm like,
So
you gotta get rough.
This, man, I will say this, man. So I've followed in my dance career a couple of times, man, but following is really like the one and only time that I have to give up control, and it can be scary, man.
Have you not dated women?
I mean,
you gave up control a long time ago.
Yes, but it's different though, man. It's like this person has all the control though. I am literally following their moves or their lead. It's different.
You're still in control of letting yourself be controlled.
I'm in control.
Because if you're not in control of letting somebody else control you, then there is no way to have connection. There's no way to relax. You have to be in control of letting them have control. So you're still in control. Okay. I don't want you to think you're not.
Think about that one,
you got to think about it. You have to let yourself go to a sense where, okay, I have to control my instincts of trying to assume, of trying to do this. Okay. You have to relax. So you're still in control. You're just letting someone else dictate your actions, your movements. And if you don't want to do something, you don't have to do it. So you're still in control.
True. Okay, sure enough.
So don't think you're too submissive.
All right, shut up, man. So I guess let's speak on your teaching career then. You started
teaching career, yeah. I mean,
and your beginner stage you started with. What was it like learning to teach?
Like I told you, I was just thrown into it. Like I literally was thrown into it. I always keep my basic class basic, because some people get so impatient with their teaching. They're like, oh, I don't want to teach basic anymore. I want to make it harder. But you got to remember, you're not getting your same students you had last week. You're not getting progressive lesson. A lot of these classes are literally weekly classes of new people every week.
That sounds very selfish too.
It is selfish. They're worried about giving. Yeah, it's all about them.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people are like, oh, it's always a beginner. Beginner's beginner. Like I shouldn't see 20 term patterns in a beginner lesson. Like in a beginner lesson, I want to see anywhere from 6 to 8 You know, make them super simple for them to understand what it is to be a basic dancer. Once you teach them those, you know, foundation, turns, cross bodies, you know, turn yourself, turn together, maybe one or two movements that are kind of getting them into intermediate, then focus more about, you know, frame, control, how things work, musicality, how to stay on beat, how to support the bar. But I mean, you know, nowadays I mostly just do clubs. I love the vibe. Like I can't do a studio. I work in the morning. I used to do studios. I used to do the 10-week programs with students. But the other salsa instructors that taught for the place were doing like the same thing for like 3-4 weeks. Where me on week 3 or 4, I was already getting my students into like intermediate. Like I'm super like, all right, this is what we're working on. Focus, focus, focus. This is next. Focus, 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 and trying to push them out. I want them to leave, and I want them to know how to dance.
Okay.
You know, and I've seen a lot of people, and they like to just hold people back, hold people back, hold people back, hold people back, hold people back. Hey, they'll come back and hold people back. I'm like, and I mean, I know it's a business, and you know, everyone is different, but that was just not my thing.
Okay.
My thing is like, by the time they're into 2, they're already intermediate. You know, in salsa 2, they're already in intermediate advanced. So I would cover a class for somebody else on week 5, and they were still like on basic turns and cross bodies.
Okay. In the goal of, I guess, extending that.
More turns and cross bodies are day 1, day 2.
Yeah.
For me.
I understand.
And again, if you tell them how to do it correctly, and if you push them correctly, they're going to know exactly what you want them to do. So I had to leave studios, and it was just my weekends. I like to free up my weekends.
I understand.
So I mean, nowadays I can have anywhere from like minimum 5 to like 15 classes a week.
Okay, you got privates as well,
Privates, clubs. Besides Salsa Room, Cafe Citron, I work closely with Bachata Brunch. They rotate instructors.
Really
it's so
cool.
fun.
Yes.
And this summer they were doing a rooftop party at the Liaison Hotel.
Man.
So like every other week, you know, they also rotate instructors, and I've been so busy this summer, so I've only made like 2 or 3. But the last one is coming up September 21st, and it's gonna be you know, rooftop. The last one at the pool. Also, I do a Latin gay night once a month at Uproar in DC. The second Saturday of every month, we have a Latin party. It's Uproar with called Candela, with Milko is a DJ, and Alex Campbell, he's the manager who hired me. So it's fun because, you know, a lot of these same-sex partners don't like to go to straight clubs. They don't like to, they don't know how to lead and follow. They're, you know, they get into the whole, we're both men, we both lead, and we just can't do it. So, you know, I'm trying to get them out of their comfort zone to actually learn about leading and following and how things work. We do salsa bachata. So that's super fun.
I'm curious, man. How is teaching at a club different than a studio?
So much, because in studio there's more foundation, there's more structure, there's more, you know, you can talk about more, you have more time, you don't have to have the music up. At the club,
Is it strictly just a basic class every time for you?
No, it depends. Okay. It depends. Like the studio, depending on how much time you have, can be a lot. Can be a lot of work.
The club, is the club normally just a basic class?
No, I always have intermediate.
Oh, okay,
I always have a basic, and I always have intermediate.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll split it up and do like a 1 salsa or 1 bachata. I kind of just like, it's kind of like a brief, like, okay, let's start beginner and try to get you as far into intermediate as I can. But I try not to make it so beginner as a point that when I have 2 classes, I can spread it out longer.
Okay.
But yeah, it's always, it's literally what you get thrown at. So a lot of these instructors go in with a plan. You can't have a plan. You don't know your student base. You don't know how quickly they're going to pick up basic. You don't know if you're going to have to do basic the whole time.
Right. That's exactly.
So you have to. I never go with the plan. I go with the flow.
How do you assess the students that come?
You watch. You
start.
You always start. Dance? You watch. A lot of instructors don't pay attention to the students. You gotta pay attention to your students.
Right.
Like if they're not doing basics correctly, more basics. More basics. If they can't do turns. Let's work on turns a little bit more. And once we partner up, basics. How to do these things together. How to connect. Close position. Open position. Watch them. Can you stay on my rhythm? Can you stay on my beat? I'm doing it with you.
Right.
They can't do it. Turns, they can't do it. All right, let's slow down. Turn the music off. Let's keep working on these turns.
Okay.
You have to watch your students in order to connect with them. If you're not connecting and you're just going, and people are just walking away because you're not helping them, and you don't even care.
Exactly.
Can't do that. You got to watch your students. I'm very helpful in a sense that I don't get too strict. I'm very playful. I talk about sex. I talk about this. I make them laugh while I'm teaching.
Yeah,
so it kind of breaks the ice.
Yeah.
They like it. They're like, oh my God, you're so hilarious. You totally made me forget about my nerves. And I'm like, hey, I do what I can.
Yeah. I want to ask you this then, real quick, man. You know, for people out there who may be aspiring teachers, any words of advice for them, or even current teachers, who want to improve? Any tips or hints on how to become a
Learn
better teacher?
your craft.
Okay.
Don't perfect beginner and go teach. Nope. Perfect beginner, perfect intermediate, perfect leading, perfect following,
Yeah.
perfect advanced, perfect isolations, perfect footwork. Learn from you. You have the ability to go to these classes. You might think you already know, but now you're going to a class for a different reason. Go watch. Go watch an instructor you like to
Right.
watch. Go assess. Now I see how their class is helping, how they're explaining every aspect of this class, how they're explaining the leader, how the leader leads, how they're explaining to the follower, how the follower needs to follow, how they're explaining connection, how they're explaining these little things that you didn't notice when you learned them.
Right.
Now you know how to do them, but you didn't learn about explanation, how things work,
different
how things
things.
create very different things.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn how to teach, get a couple privates from an instructor, because that's a whole different class. I'm not showing you how to
Yes.
dance. I'm showing you how to teach.
Right.
I'm showing you how to engage. I'm showing you how to be creative. I'm showing you how to be able to answer any question. I had girls today in the boot camp class. Oh, how do you do this? How do I play with my arms? Yeah, and I changed roles. I was like, all right, ladies, this is what we're going to do. We're going to play with these. We're going to play with these. And they're like, and everybody was like, this mofo literally just changed roles, and he taught me exactly what I asked without any hesitation.
That makes you an amazing teacher, though. I guess you don't really need a partner, a leader.
I mean,
a
I
follow.
don't.
If you can do both roles, it helps.
Well,
but
for a while I was teaching with no, but now I've had my lovely assistant. I started with Linda Signs. Now she has her own company, Class
Yeah.
A Dance Company. She's been 30-year anniversary. I missed it because I'm here at Richmond Salsa Congress, and now my partner and one of my best friends, Oriana Gabriela. She also came here. She's been a dancer for years, but it was more her language barrier, and now she's gotten better with English. I have her teaching her own classes because I literally have classes everywhere, all day, every day. So if I'm not there, I have them. I have her, Oriana, Hugo, my best friend. You met Hugo. Like, they're my road dogs. They cover my classes when I can't be there. They gigs I can't do. They're like, hey, we're on it. And a lot of the instructors from the DMV, Maria, David, they're always available and ready, and so proud of all of them.
Hey, so I'm curious, do you have since you don't have one location that you teach at, do you kind of have like this following? You have like a cult following that?
I would
what is
say,
it?
I mean, I don't know. People just enjoy it. Like, people
Okay.
meet me, they come to the club, first time they heard about it. People like Citrong, 15 years, Salsa Room, 13 years. They're like, oh, we heard the guy with the fan, and he's so fun, so we had to come check you out.
Okay, that's
and
what they
then
know you as.
they like it, and then they follow me on Instagram, they follow me on Facebook. Sometimes they don't have social media. I give them my number. When I started, I used to have business cards. Now I'm like, people are gonna
Actually,
find me.
yeah,
They don't
okay.
need me.
Yeah.
I don't need business cards
I
anymore.
understand that, man.
I did order some because I have like corporate events that are trying to hire me, and they're like, hey. But besides that, like, I don't need more gigs. I'm already booked.
I understand.
I'm good. I'm a local instructor, and work in daytime is super stressful, so
Okay.
it helps.
I understand that, man. I wanna ask you about this, man. Since you kind of born and raised in that Northern Virginia area, man. I'm very curious to hear about the transition from, the scene back in the early 2000s maybe to like where it is now. What is that? How is it? How is the scene? Has it grown?
I want to say it's grown as a whole, but back then it was like literally just salsa,
Okay.
salsa.
As I know, in my
salsa.
opinion, DC's big for bachata, right? Is that true?
Now
That's
now
it,
it's
that's what I'm saying,
huge.
now,
I mean,
yeah.
everywhere's picking up bachata. They
Okay.
love bachata.
Okay.
It's an easier dance. All these remixes, all these songs that are
remixes, right,
fucking.
yeah.
They're hot. They're lit. You want to hear them? They're like, damn, that's a good song.
Yeah.
And it's an easier dance to pick up. So
It
I feel
makes
like the
salsa
younger
definitely,
crowd
yeah,
is
yeah.
like, the younger crowd is all about it. They're all about it. They're like, oh, I want to learn. Oh, that looks good. And then salseros. I don't want to say they're dying down. They're just, you get a little annoyed with these little kids walking around acting like they know what they're doing. They ain't been there. They ain't got nothing. Calm down, bachateros. We love you though,
Uh-huh.
but respect your salseros. We were the ones that were there, because of salsa. Salsa's history. We were out there throwing down, dancing every song, sweating, changing our shirts. We were doing the most, and now y'all over here doing a little easy ass dance. But it's all good because it's part of our family. Let them get upset. ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, but tell me, I'm curious. You know, how has I guess have you noticed anything different in the Northern Virginia dance scene?
That they're just doing too much bachata, if you ask me.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Okay,
People are
I
like,
understand.
look, Salsa Room went from like legit salsa. Now they have like Bachata Wednesday, they have Bachata Fridays, and they even added Bachata Thursdays.
Okay.
And there's always like Bachata,
Is that just the supply and demand, I guess?
I think so. People love it. People love it,
Yeah.
and it's cool. But you know, they have to, you know, clubs keep your at least once a week salsa night. Keep it as much as you can, because, you know,
There's an
us
audience
older
for it, right?
people, the older people love it, and you know, we're trying to remind the youth that culture. You know, let's not let them forget that culture, because pretty soon you're going to be hearing all these remixes of bachata, and they're not even going to know what a traditional bachata song sounds like. They're not going to know what, you know, like Monchi Alexander and all these people who actually, you know, sing that old school stuff. You know, we don't want to hear all that new, and we love it. Don't get me wrong. I love all the new school and all the sensual and all the remakes, but let's not let the youth forget the real music. Old school is where it's at. Old school, and they don't know it. You know, anytime you get a new song and you're like, I don't know it, but like a month later you're like, damn, I really like that song. So it's like we're not letting them even hear the songs. You know what I mean? And they're not gonna find it on their own. So you got to make sure, you know, keep your old songs, put them into your sets. DJs, remind the youth that back in the day the music was fire.
So
Still is.
So some would say, I feel like, you know, this is kind of like the evolution of the dance, right? Into what is becoming today. Any problems with that, I guess? Like,
No problem. I love the evolution of the dance. You know, all these new styles, and the only thing I have a problem with is calling it something else. It's still bachata.
Well, of course.
It's not bachata sensual. It's just you being sensual while you dancing
Right.
bachata. It's not urban bachata. It's just you being urban while you're dancing bachata.
Yeah, okay.
Stop with all the names. They got the salsa, bachata, ketchup, mayonnaise, all this damn names for no reason. It's salsa bachata. That's it. Do whatever you do in your music. And, you know, there's also on the other side, people are like, that's not real bachata. Let people do what they want to do. Let them be creative. Let them be. We keep talking about stop copying. And then someone goes out and tries to be different. And they're like, well, that's not what it's supposed to look like. Well,
it's a lot of judgment going on.
Pick a side, people.
Yeah.
Leave people alone. Go dance yourself. Stay in your kitchen. Dance with yourself. Dance however you're going to dance. Let people live. Let people love what they're doing. Stop judging them. Stop being aggressive. Let them wear tight pants. Let them wear hoochie. Let them be covered. Let everybody be themselves. Love yourself. Love the world. Love the world. We need more love these days. Everybody's always hating on somebody
There's a lot of that,
for
man.
nothing, for no reason. Ain't nobody worried about you. You ain't paying my bills.
Right.
And I'm not going to pay yours unless you're good in bed.
I want to let me ask you this real quick. You know, you've danced for, you know, quite a long time now, man. I'm very curious to hear, you know, what are some things that you've learned from dancing that you're able to translate to your everyday life?
Being social.
Okay.
I hated talking to people back in the day.
Okay.
And now it's like, you know, coming from a school where I used to be a peer mediator, I used to be an advocate for many things, that actually helped me be able to communicate. So instead of saying, okay, I'm going to do this today, no, I'm going to see how can I do this today. Like, let me see what the situation is. Let me think about how I'm going to explain this to people. Let me think about how I'm going to explain this to my boss. How finding ways to do different things in different ways.
Okay.
That's what it's about. It's not like, oh, here, do this. I want you to do it this way. Well, what if I find a way to make that easier?
Right.
Why wouldn't I embrace it? And why wouldn't I tell you, hey, what if we try this? And, oh, wow, that's a lot easier. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, my brain works that way. It's not that I'm a good dancer, that's my talent. It's I was able to pick up how to make dancing easier.
Okay.
And once I realized how that clicked in my head, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Everybody's so bent on numbers and numbers and numbers, and I'm here using words, and people just click. It's like dummy proof. Like, just by using words, actions, you know, relate to the brain a lot better than numbers.
Right.
We use numbers for so many things. So just being able to, you know, on the spot. Look, we haven't even done a retake today. This is his first interview, and he hasn't told me any of the questions he was asking me, and we're here, and we're having a conversation, and it's working.
Yeah.
Because you just need to know how to flow.
Right.
When you learn how to flow, life is so much easier.
I believe it. I definitely understand that, man. Yeah. I guess I would like to kind of transition into, maybe giving some hints and tips to dancers.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe for a beginner who's new to this right now, man, and they feel like they might not be getting better, like they're stuck in that beginner's rut. Do you have any advice to give them?
Get in class. Learn to be patient. Learn to relax. Go meet different instructors, because like I said, out of 10 instructors, only one might help you understand what it is you need to learn. Until you meet that person, you're not going to know, because everybody is good for somebody.
Okay, right.
But not everybody is good for everybody.
Right, sure enough.
So you can meet 10 people and none of them helped you.
Mm-hmm. You gotta find that 11th person then, or
But
what?
you gotta find that patient person. So you can hit me up.
Hey, sure enough.
I'm very patient. I can see what it is you need, how you need it. And I'm pretty sure there's plenty of instructors out there that I love. Andy Cruz out in the West Coast, one of my best friends. He's very helpful on how things work. Julissa Cruz.
Hey, shout out.
She's
Shout out.
Pura Vintage organizer
yes,
here.
yes.
She's in the DMV area now. She's one of the best things that came to DC. Everyone's like on teams already and doing this and doing that, and then they go see her, and she really
amazing,
ups
man.
them up. She ups
Yeah.
them up, and she makes them understand, and she keeps drilling and drilling and drilling. Instructors, stop choreographing, stop making them remember choreography. Drill them, show them the ins and outs, how to be better, how to be a leader, how to follow, whatever it is you want them to be better at, make them better. Stop just making them remember choreography. That doesn't help.
Now, real quick, I'm very curious, man. Teaching is, one part of business, man. So how do you find that balance? Trying to maintain your student base. I feel like you can only drill them so much before they like, okay,
I'm good. I mean, they always come back.
They always
come back, whether it's to show me how good they've gotten, whether it's to invite me to their wedding because they met somebody in my lessons. I mean, I've married at least 50 people.
Okay.
And they're like, hey, I met somebody in your class and we're dancing and we're here.
Yeah.
Can you choreograph our wedding? Like, I don't need to keep you. My job is to teach you what what you want to learn,
Okay.
and for you to go.
Okay.
Like, it's not my job to say, I need your money. I need you to stay. Nope. I want to teach you as quickly as possible, and I want you to go be free, and I want you to go, and I want you to learn, and I want you to dance, and I want you to live your best life. I don't need you to come see me every week, because I'm going to have a new student taking your place next week. I'm going to have somebody new who comes in, and they need me. We're mentors. We're here to help people learn, and we're here to get you on your way. If you want to come back and enjoy the scene and dance and practice and help other dancers get better, great. Come back to class. Come be a professional intermediate dancer and take the beginner lesson. Like, that's how these new people are going to be better, because you're here, you're helping. Somebody helped you before. Now go help people.
So I feel like,
But don't become an instructor.
So I feel like what you're saying, though, what I'm hearing is, I guess when you're teaching, you're not very much concerned about what someone else is doing, what the competition might be doing. You really want to get that student to the best they can be, right?
I just bring them in. I bring them into the community.
Okay.
I'm one of those, like, literally, hey, I'm bringing them in. Hey, you love it? Great. I'm going to be a social dancer. Hey,
Okay.
you love it? Hey, I want to perform. Who do I go to? And I send them.
Point
I
in that
send them to
direction.
the people I like. I send a lot of people, I want to do bachata. I'm like, Gregarious. Go see Gregarious.
Hey, I had her on the show.
Ferocity.
Amazing.
Go see her. She has all these teams, all levels, performance, regular, amateur,
She had us
just
doing
regular
big things.
classes. Clavakazi, Irene, Shaka Brown in the DC area. We have a lot of teams that, some of them are new, some of them are older. Ardiente, David Cuevas, he came from the high school that, a
Okay.
lot of us mentored and went to teach, and now he's running his own company.
Okay,
He's
nice.
traveling and he's teaching and he's building his own student base, and I love it. I love the youth, and be kind to your
Hey,
students.
you got to, man. Yeah.
Hey, if somebody says, "Oh, I want to go," I'm not stopping you.
Okay.
Don't worry. Don't worry about me. 'Cause, as much as I try to keep my lessons either free. I don't really charge my students straight. Like, oh, here, you got to pay me. No, the club You know, if they pay for the club entrance, it's
That's
included.
okay, right.
Cafe Citron lessons are free. Anytime you see me at Cafe Citron, classes are free.
Nice.
Like, you know, I get paid from the club,
That's
so
awesome.
support the bar so they can afford me.
Yeah.
Because if they can't afford me, then you don't have me anymore.
Right. I understand. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I try to make, you know, privates, you know, I try to, you know, I work with people, you know, you buy 3, you get 1 free, 5, you get 2
Yeah,
free,
sure enough.
7, you get 3 free.
Sure
You know,
enough.
I do weddings, choreographies. Keen says I am very booked, so make sure
Hey,
you
popular
give me
man.
time.
Okay.
Don't call me a month before your wedding, because people do that.
All right.
And I'm like, Lord.
Let me. I want to ask you kind of the continuation to that original question. You know, so for intermediate dancers who want to get to that advanced level, what do you think it takes for them to get there?
Privates. I mean,
Okay.
it's very hard in class. I kind of try to make my intermediate classes a little advanced just to get them out of their comfort zone. But a lot of time, you know, they're impatient. You know, remember, we were dealing with a lot of different levels in class, so
Right.
you have to be patient. If that's something you can't do, take privates. Take privates with somebody who knows what they're doing, who knows how to get you to that next level. And again, it's all about imagination, creativity. You know the rules. You should know them by now.
Right.
If you're an intermediate dancer, you know the rules. You know how things work. Get somebody who wants to practice with you. Mess up.
Right.
Create. Be gentle. And let your brain go. Let your brain work. You know what I mean? Stop depending on people to give you you know, stuff.
Right.
Oh, give me a move. No, make up a move. How about that? Create a move. Make
Yeah.
something up that you haven't seen. You know, get creative. That's the only way you're going to become an advanced dancer. Advanced is not about, oh, I can learn all the moves you show me. No, it's about being able to be creative. It's about musicality. It's about controlling your partner. It's about connection, being gentle, and stop worrying about who's looking at you and
Right.
enjoy your dance.
Yeah. I definitely.
Because a lot of
see
these
that.
dancers are always looking at who's watching. Ain't nobody watching you.
That performance mindset is kind of like bleeding into the social aspect, right?
Yes, people are so needy.
Okay, is that what it is? It's a wanting attention.
They need
Is
it.
that?
Then they get mad at people like me because I get attention just by walking in the room.
I sure does.
Don't be mad at me. I mean, step up your game.
Hey,
step
shut
up your
up,
game.
man.
Because I walk in a t-shirt and jeans, a little blazer and some accessories, and I'm already killing it.
Hey. Tell me
bad.
about that, man. Because I know, speaking on everyone wanting to put on a performance, and I don't everyone, but a lot of people putting on a performance in the social scene.
They're just needy. That's
Yeah.
all. I mean, some people are just that good. Like some people are
Okay.
just fun, and it's
Yeah.
about the music, and they're in their zone, and that's fine. I get it. But when you're like trying to do flips and dips and aerial trip, like come down. That's not for the dance floor.
Right.
Be mindful of the people around you. You're hurting people. You know, I was young. I was reckless. I used to. And I don't say I would do tricks, but you know, I would do splits and under the legs, and I would get silly.
Uh-huh.
You know, alcohol does it to you. I mean, but watch your spacing. Watch your spacing.
Got to,
Don't trip
man.
somebody because you decided you want to do a split. You know, I've dropped a couple people doing
Okay,
splits. You know,
okay.
and I'm like, oh, you know, you got to watch it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to watch. You know, not intentionally, but you know, either they weren't there, and when I did the split, then they were there, and they didn't see me. And be very careful. Watch what's going on around you, and very vigilant. Just be vigilant. Just know, okay, am I gonna do a split? All
Gotta
right,
be.
nobody's there. Nobody's there. We're good. You know, watch your elbows. That's why I tell everybody keep those elbows
Come
facing
on,
the
man.
ground because everyone's out here and
Come on,
knocking out
man.
people, and I'm like, oh Lord. But yeah, I mean, just get someone to help you get better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have people hire me just to create, just
Okay.
to create. Just like, hey, let's just dance with me for an hour and tell me what I'm doing wrong. What can I do
Okay.
better? How can I play with this? How do I get out of this? Can I get out of this a different way? And I'm like, I got you.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm using my brain at that instant to
Yeah.
be able to just play with
Yeah.
this.
I think that's really awesome, man. Yeah, if you are creative, so you're not locked into just patterns or this specific
Exactly.
pattern.
That's a lot of problems
That's a
with
skill,
people.
man. That's a very amazing skill you have.
And that's what I try to teach people. So they have to let me in, because a lot of you don't let me in, and you're still like, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? No, don't think. Don't think. Don't think. Just let go. Let go.
Yeah.
Let your brain work. Your brain's there for a reason.
Earlier you spoke on a couple times, honestly. You spoke on musicality. I want to ask you, first, what does musicality mean to you? And second part, how does someone improve their musicality?
To me, it's really like every song has a story. You know, whether it's a verbal story or whether it's just a musical story. You know, it's just like, okay, the song is relaxed. You know, I love instrumentals. They're my
Okay.
favorite.
I like instrumentals
and
too.
they
So,
also
yeah.
have their points in the song where you're like, you know, oh, all those motions, you know, listen to the song. It doesn't have to be a specific thing. Like, you can play on the song however you want to interpret the song.
Right. Everyone hears it
Not-
differently. Exactly.
Everybody has to be differently. You don't have to be fast when it's fast, slow when it's slow. You just have to follow a storyline, your own story. You want to be mad, you want to be sad, you want to be aggressive, you know, visually, you want to be serious, be serious. You want to laugh, smile, do whatever it is you want, just respectfully. Respect your partner.
Right.
How to get better with musicality, I would say, is listen to music.
Okay. Of that genre, right?
Listen to any genre, listen to it, because you know, then now you're not thinking about moves, you're not thinking about turn patterns. So now you can be like, oh, I didn't really notice that part in the song until now.
Okay.
Like I've been at a point where live band, I listen to a live band and I know exactly what they're gonna do.
Okay.
Because I'm letting myself go with the music. It's not exactly how they play it on the CD or, you know, on
Right.
the track. It's they're playing.
You kind of feel that energy, right?
And all about the energy. You got to be ready. You know, till you get to a point where, they changed the beat. I caught that right before they changed it, and I changed the step already. Like, you
Nice.
got to be ready. Like, just listen. You're not letting your brain listen because you're thinking too much about what am I gonna do next? What am I gonna do next? What am I gonna do next? Let the music take over. Let the music take over.
Follow question then. You know, how does one get out of their head? Is that just something that comes with time? Is that the only way you can just
I don't want
keep
to say
dancing?
time. It's just you have to, again, like we talked about earlier, control your control of being controlled.
Okay.
And the minute you keep thinking, what am I going to do next? Stop. Just stop. Just stop thinking that. Just clear your brain.
So be present, be in the moment.
Be present. Look at your partner. Basic. Keep it simple. Keep it to a point where just basic. Cross body, basic. Turn, basic. Let your brain kind of relax.
And
Because
that
at some
might
point
take
you're going to
some
see.
dance.
You're going to see in the future, you're going to see, what if this goes? What if?
You start opening yourself up to those possibilities.
And I like what if better than how about this.
Okay.
How about this? You start questioning yourself. What about?
What if I do that?
And by respecting and being gentle and having your frame, if it goes wrong, let go. Nothing happens. But if you're being rough and aggressive, something can happen. So be very careful about that energy you
I
giving your
understand
partner.
that, man. Definitely do. I like that what if. I have to use that. I like that, man. Orlando, you know, I guess I really want to thank you, man, for taking time out to talk
Of course,
to me,
I
man.
appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, man.
So what's your YouTube, right?
Exactly.
What's it called again?
Two Left Feet Podcast.
Two Left Feet Podcast.
Yes, sir.
If you have two left feet, you can still dance.
Hey,
all right? So
sure
don't
enough.
worry about that. And thank you for having me. I
Of course,
appreciate
man,
it.
of course,
so
man.
make sure you look out. He's going to
Hey.
be interviewing a lot of people, and he's going to have a lot of videos coming up. Don't be shy.
Hey, I want to real quick though. You know, tell me, what are some of your upcoming events? You know, what do you have going on?
Well, besides summer's over, so
Yeah.
you know, I literally just had DC Salsa Hungers, I had DCBX, I had
Busy.
Pura Vintage.
Okay, busy.
Coming up, you know, I have my salsa room, Cafe Citron. I have my Liaison Rooftop, Bachata Brunch. My next events this week, I have Citron, I have Salsa Room, I have Uproar, I have the Liaison Hotel coming up next week. Besides that, my birthday's coming up, so I'm
Hey.
going to be celebrating birthday probably at the Salsa Room. You know, I'm trying to think of my theme so we can make that happen, and then I'll be celebrating for a whole 3 weeks probably. So look out for that schedule. Scorpio season is coming.
Sure enough.
And you know, then we have New Year's, we have Christmas, holidays. Oh Lord, we got a lot of stuff going on. So
Okay.
be on the lookout. You can follow me, Lando Dolce, on Instagram, or Lando Machuca Jr. on Facebook. And if you want my number, hit up Two
Sure
Left
enough.
Feet over here. He
Hey.
can give it to you for
Sure
any
enough.
privates or online training, coaching, all that good stuff.
Hey, yeah, that's perfect, man.
We good?
I think so,
I appreciate it, buddy.
Oh yeah, but real quick, yeah, before we close out, man, anything you want to add to the end of this, man, before we close it out?
Yes, love
Speak on it.
yourself, love people, respect something you're not sure about. Make sure you, you know, if you see something you're not sure, you don't understand, let it be. It's not your problem. If it doesn't affect you, it doesn't pay your bills, let it be.
Yeah.
make sure, again, like I said, respect. Teach your children to respect. As this post I put recently, tell your kids, hey, if you see a kid by themselves, looks lonely, talk to them.
Yeah.
And it's the same as dancing. If you see someone sitting in the corner, say hi. Like, you don't know what kind of day they had. You don't know how hard it is to be a newbie in a new city, to be a new kid at a new school. Learn to appreciate that someone is nice to you. So be nice. Play it forward. Love, respect. And remember, we only have one world, and we need to keep track of this one, because pretty soon, who knows, might be gone.
So no, I think that's a great way to wrap this episode up, man.
Wrap it up.
Hey, so yeah, like I said, I think I'll do it for this episode 2 of your podcast. Orlando, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So no, hey. That's all it is.
Hey everyone, if you made it this far to all the way to the end of the video, I want to thank you so much. My overall goal with making these interviews and these episodes is to give a voice to dancers, to give them a platform to speak their story. So if this is of value to anyone, then that means the world to me. My overall goal is to give value to the dance community. So if you find no value in this, then I urge you to please let me know where I can improve on. I truly want to, just give value and content to the dance community. So please let me know how I can improve, where I'm messing up, because to be 100% honest with you, I'm learning along the way as I do this. I truly am. So to be able to interact with, the dance community, it means the world to me, because it gives me feedback and it lets me know, what I'm doing right, where I can improve upon, what I'm doing wrong, which I feel like might be more important. So please, if you all could comment and just let me know what you think, it means the world to me, because, that feedback just helps me improve. So please comment as well. Please like and subscribe. That means a lot as well. But I want to say thank you so much for just watching this, because it means the world to me. I want to take you on this journey of the Two Left Feet podcast. I'm very excited for it. So once again, thank you so much.